Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and Robert, the Nordic Nightmare Helenius. Get this, Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius, possible for October. Promoter Frank Warren says Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, 42-2, 1 draw, and 41 KOs will return to the action in October against heavyweights the Nordic Nightmare Helenius, which is 31-3 and 20 KOs in the States. This could be the first action for the former WBC heavyweight champion, which is 36 years of age, since his loss to Tyson the Gypsy King Fury last October. After the loss, Wilder said he wanted to consider whether to continue his career. It looks like Wilder has decided to continue, which is going good because he can now make massive money by fighting Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk. Helenius isn't that type of fighter you would typically want to face if you're coming off a knockout loss like the one Wilder suffered against Fury. For Wilder to be taking on the powerful 6'6" Finnish heavyweight Helenius is the next fight. He wants to send a message that he wants to fight the winner of Alexander versus Anthony Joshua too. There's a lot of risk for Deontay to be fighting Helenius, as he's good and looks good in his last 3 fights, beating Adam Kalnacki twice and Mateus Roberto Osorio by knockout. If Wilder gets hit hard by Kalnacki in the early going, he could fold up as he did in the last fight against Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder, quote unquote, is fighting in October. He's coming back and they're talking about him fighting Helenius, and that'll be in the States, Frank Warren said to Talk Sports. Let me counterpunch. If this is true, this would be good for boxing. It would be good for heavyweight boxing. It would bring another huge player back to the game in the heavyweight division. And his name is Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Say what you want about Wilder. When he's not around, you miss the guy. You just do. Okay? Whether he's saying something gruesome, nitty, gritty, strange, bold, strong, whatever you want, he's got it going on. Bars. And he hits with the Alabama sledgehammer and could decapitate you like he did with Spilka and Dominique Brazil. So those are the type of things you deal with Wilder, because it could be 12 rounds, or it could be 11 rounds, or it could be 1 round. Either way, he's going to show you a very popular fight, okay? Because you're going to get knockdowns if he has anything to do with it, because if he hits you, that's where you're going, south. You're going to go south. So at the end of the day, man, I like it. I hope it's the truth. I know Frank Warren didn't get that out of thin air, so he had to have some sort of a reliable source on will he come back. And whoever told him that, maybe Shelly Finkel, more than likely. If it's Shelly Finkel, more than likely, that's what they're trying to do for Wilder. But ultimately, it's up to Wilder. That's what we have to believe, okay? Because that would be the healthiest. If someone's still pulling the strings of Wilder, that's not good, especially if he doesn't want to return back to the ring. But Robert Helenius would be a tough fighter because he's on a winning streak. He's kicked that ass of Kalnacki twice, and Mateo Osorio, he's done that, and it wasn't too nice. Bars. So I think at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder is showing you that he's at the elite level, and he's here to stay. Right? But it sounds good. But we all talk about, and this guy, shout out to, what's his name? Charles Brunn. Shout out to Charles. He needs to understand, Charles needs to understand, yeah, it will be a test to see what happens to Deontay Wilder's chin. If he goes down, the first thing people will say, okay, he's chinny. He's damaged. You know, maybe that thing or the stuff that Tyson Fury was saying about Deontay Wilder, okay, maybe it did make sense. Maybe he is damaged. You know, what does he have left? I can tell you what he has left. He has punching power. So we can talk about that all day long, but let's look and let's flip that coin for a minute, all right? What if and when Deontay Wilder hits Helenius? Okay, Helenius is big, strong, tall, awkward, and rangy, but if he gets hit with that right hand, what do you think will happen to that man? Bars. So I think it's going to be an interesting fight for those two reasons. You know, and so first, Wilder will return. Ooh. Second, we get to see how his chin reflects other punches and with other punching power. And two, we'll see what he can do to them. Okay, so we'll see what happens with Deontay Wilder. It has been a while if he comes back in October, because that's the same month he was KO'd by Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. So a year ring rust, you know, on top of dropping an album and, you know, making money other sources that can make any man soft. Because like Marvin Marvelous Hagler said himself, that it's hard to jog when you're in pink pajamas or silk pajamas. Pink pajamas. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Deontay Wilder supposedly coming back to the sport of boxing, taking on Robert the Nordic Nightmare Helenius. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!